my name is Amanda Curtiff, and I'm honored to introduce to you our next speaker for tonight. Monica is from Indiana and a recent college graduate from St. Mary's. After graduating college, she has spent working as a teacher for 11 months in Ghana with the children at a school. She has spent her entire life serving those who need it the most. She has traveled presenting many different human interest stories, focusing on leadership, faith, poverty, and immigration. Currently, Monica is working for a company called Skylight Leadership, where she uses her stories to coach thousands of individuals and teams. In addition to leadership, she has created an iPhone app called Beautiful You and a program at a detention center in South Bend, which inspires women to have self-confidence and inner beauty. Monica values the service to others and believes that you should help them create a story that they are pleased to tell. Aside from being an inspirational speaker throughout the country, Monica is my cousin. I love her very much, and I strive to become just a fraction of the woman that she has become today. She is always someone that I can rely on to bring me up when I'm sad. She has taught me how to embrace my inner happiness. I am extremely excited that she is here tonight. Please join me in welcoming Monica Murphy.
Women of Culver Academies, I challenge you to believe that you are worthy. As General Colin Powell once said, people will either stretch your vision or they're going to choke your dreams. Therefore, you have to decide who you are going to be when people try to define your life for you. The conviction that I really am worth it will help you take risks in your life. Though she is one, she is mighty. I put a quote on all of my emails, and it means a lot to me. It was written by Emile Zola 100 years ago and reads, "If you ask me what I have come to do in this world, I will reply, I am here to live my life out loud." To me, this quote means that we really need to have the courage to take risks and try to make a difference in this world. What risks are you willing to take to make a difference? Two women who have made a difference are J.K. Rowling and Oprah Winfrey. At first, they had odds stacked against them. J.K. Rowling was on welfare when writing her first Harry Potter book. Oprah experienced childhood abuse and poverty. Yet they believed that they were worthy of greatness, and that worthiness helped them to take risks in their life. Tonight I want to briefly share why risk-taking is important and how by risk-taking I was able to discover my calling. My experiences have not been handed to me on a silver platter. I've worked for them by stepping into my courage zone. I gave myself permission to dream, and while doing so, discovered that I was worthy. Risk-taking has allowed me to hone in on my strengths, really tap into my unknown potential, and to learn impeccable life lessons from other people. Growing up, I spent a good portion of my summer days helping my elderly neighbor, Elsie. I would head over to her house, cook grilled cheese sandwiches on homemade bread with red onion, wash her windows, and just hear her story. But what I remember most about my visits to Elsie's was our annual peach harvest, in which we plucked peaches from her backyard tree in order to make homemade pies. And I remember sitting there one day on the blue couch in her living room, looking through that day's harvest. And while sitting there, pleased with the fruits of my labor, she asked me a simple question. Monica, why don't any of your peaches have bruises on them? I said, because I only want the best peaches for our pies. I was a little dumbfounded. She turned to me and said, Monica, our bruises are what make us who we are. In other words, we have to have the courage to be imperfect. We may fall many times, and I have failed many times, but the truth is that you have to get up and you have to keep going. Since then, I've had a strong desire to serve people. And I really have had a strong curiosity to hear their stories. The act of serving helps to answer the question, what did I do specifically today to add value to somebody else's life? I always knew I wanted to be in a place where I could serve people, though I wasn't sure what that looked like at the time. While in high school, I realized that I needed to pitch articles to many different media outlets. I was completely terrified. I didn't have any background in journalism or writing, but I knew that my voice mattered. And today I'm published in national outlets, including the Huffington Post, and was able to intern with best-selling author Adriana Trajani. I'm not sharing this for praise, but because it takes vigor to go after the things that feel right while serving others in the process. My publications have been opportunities to share people's stories of those who have survived rape, abuse, those who overcame addiction, being able to help them communicate a message that they feel is important. But then, my freshman year of college at St. Mary's, I ran for class president, not knowing a thing about student government. I didn't even know what socialism was, and I probably still don't. But I believed that I really believed that I was a good listener, that I understood people and could make strong decisions with the team. So I knocked on every single freshman door, completely terrified. I heard their perspective, heard their voice, and I won the election. I also passed out M&M's, the candy from Monica Murphy. I was trying to be somewhat creative, so maybe that's why I won. But this risk helped me to realize that in any future leadership role I would ever have in my life, that I wanted to be a servant leader. A few years later, actually recently, I lived in Ghana, Africa for 11 months, teaching and interviewing my superstar kids. They taught me more than I could have ever possibly taught them. They taught me how to love unconditionally in a broken world, how to help people move forward, and how to live with a can-do spirit. One of my girls, Vera, is your age, and she was one of my poorest girls in Africa. She had nothing. She lived in a cement room with her mom. Though she fought every day to pay those school fees in order to get an education, she took risks every single day of her life in order to succeed. She once told me, we should always fight for our circumstances. We should always fight for what belongs to us and never blame our circumstances. Though she is one, she is mighty. The key to making a difference anywhere you go is realizing that people come first. Going to Africa was a big risk for me. In fact, it terrified my family. But this experience was the defining moment when I realized that I wanted to spend the rest of my life being a storyteller and interviewing people and empowering people as a life coach. It was shortly after Africa that I approached a leadership company, Skylight Leadership, to continue my leadership and coaching skills. And they've been a fantastic team to be a part of. Here's what I've learned from taking risks that I want to share with all of you. Self-doubt does not have to hold you back. You can ignore your internal critic, and you can do the things that scare you the most. Embrace being a lifelong learner. By taking risks, you own your development. So I'm going to leave you with a few questions. Is your dream really your dream? Does your dream benefit others? What people can accomplish by themselves is nothing compared to their potential when working with other people. Your attitude is one of the most important decisions you will ever make. What makes you different? Those who live with a sense of worthiness have the courage to be imperfect, and they have compassion towards themselves. So to all of you lovely women of Culver Academies, I challenge you to believe that you are worthy so that you have the courage to take risks in your life. Find your passions in the process, and remember to always serve others before yourself. Because after all, though you are one, you are mighty. Thank you.